Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. You're facing the wrong way. I am with my beautiful fur daughter, Brady. As many of you know, this is my dog and I adopted her about a little over a year ago now. Also, as most of you know, that she was tested positive for heartworm a couple months ago. So this video is going to be a little shorter, but I just wanted to give you all an update on how she is and just like the whole process that I've gone through with her. For those of you that are new, here's a little background story on her. I adopted her a year ago. I had no intentions on adopting a dog. My mom volunteers at the animal shelter, and they were having a special event going on, and me and Mitchell, my boyfriend, were going to an Orlando City soccer game. It was kind of on our way to downtown Orlando, so we stopped by to support. They had food trucks there and everything, and of course I wanted to go see the dogs because I can't not go to a shelter and see the animals. So I went there, and that's where I saw Brady, and I swear she hypnotized me because I was still living at my mom's house. My mom had a dog. We had 2 cats at my mom's. Like, I really shouldn't have been adopting a dog in the first place. Growing up, I've always had a lot of animals. I've never just had one dog or no pets at all. Like, we've always had a zoo in our house. It wasn't out of the blue to just adopt a dog randomly. So long story short, I obviously adopted Brady. I brought her back to my mom. Actually, I didn't even bring her back. My mom did, because me and Mitchell went off to the soccer game. So my mom ended up bringing her back home. Her and my mom's dog fought really bad, so we had to keep them separated for a little bit, and we kind of introduced them, like kept reintroducing them over and over again, and make sure that someone was always watching them whenever they were together. And eventually they became the best of friends. 6 months later, me and Mitchell bought a house and we moved in together, and obviously Brady came with us. So it was really hard at first to take Brady away from my mom's dog because they had created such a great bond. They loved each other, and it was so sad because I was like, oh my god, now that they've created this amazing relationship together, I have to break it apart because Brady's moving in with us. She's my dog. She adjusted very well. Like, I was so surprised. She's been a great dog. Fast forward to a full year that I've had her, I was going to take her to her yearly checkup. I wasn't suspecting anything, just, you know, getting her yearly checkup, getting her shots up to date, getting her nails clipped, just making sure she's okay and healthy. Lo and behold, she was tested positive for heartworm. Both of our jaws just dropped when the doctor came in because I was like, what? Like, I've been ever since I adopted her, I had her on heartworm prevention pills. So I was like, how did she get heartworm? Like, I don't keep her outside. The only time she ever goes outside is when I let her out or if we go for a walk or whatever. I didn't even know how you could get heartworm. I kind of wanted just to share my story to inform for those of you that have animals or pets, because cats can get it too. I mean, I think other animals can get it. I'm not 100% sure, so don't mark my word, but I know for sure dogs and cats can get heartworm. And when I found out Brady was tested positive for heartworm, I didn't know what to do. I mean, obviously the doctor was there to help me and guide me with everything, but I was just like, what's heartworm? Like, what? So yeah, I just wanted to share my story for those of you that have pets and that are huge animal lovers, because I know there's a lot of you out there. And also for those of you, just whoever doesn't have pets and that just genuinely care about Brady's story, because I'm constantly getting comments, and anytime I post a picture of Brady, you guys are like the best. You guys are always asking like how she is she okay, is she doing better? And I really, really appreciate that. I wish I could comment back to every single one of you and give you an update, but there's so many of you that care, and it makes me so happy. Oh, there she goes. Anyways, back to the whole story. So when the doctor told me she was tested positive, there was 2 ways I could go about it. I could, 1, keep giving her preventatives that I was giving to her every month, or do heartworm treatment. Heartworm preventative pills weren't guaranteed to kill off her heartworm. It was just to kind of like monitor and kind of like slow down the heartworm buildup that was happening. But treatment obviously is 99.9 supposed to kill off the heartworm, and she'll be good to go in a couple of months. So I was like, obviously I'm gonna do the treatment because Brady is 4 years old. The treatment was our #1 option. That's what we were sticking with. That's what we were doing. Pretty much the whole treatment process was about, I'd say it started, she got diagnosed in July. Yeah, or May, June. She got diagnosed in June. It's about 5 to 6 months. Pretty much when she first was tested positive, he sent me home with antibiotics. So she had to be on antibiotics for a whole month. And August is when she got her first injection. So when a dog or a cat has heartworm, there's 3 injections or shots that they get. Building up to her first injection, you kind of have to slow down the activity of the pet. We didn't fully stop like taking Brady on walks, but we didn't like take her as far, or didn't really like let her run outside a lot, because when they do start getting the injections, they're pretty much supposed to be like bed rest, so they're not really supposed to be like jumping around and running and just kind of keeping their heart rate really like normal, not like upbeat. And overall, she's pretty much a mellow dog. She gets her little hyperness here and there, but it's not like super hyper. Like all she wants to do is, bless you. I feel like I always sneeze in my videos. All she really wanted to do is play with her toys, and she would want to go on walks occasionally, but I would just take her down literally to the next door neighbor and back, just to like kind of get her to like sniff around. Or I'd bring her outside in the front yard and just let her sit there and like be calm. Earlier this week, she got her last 2 injections, actually on Friday and Saturday. Friday and Saturday, she was supposed to spend the night, and it's more of a convenience thing as why she would spend the night, because she gets an injection Friday morning and then she had to get one the next morning. They suggested to have her spend the night, but I was like, I will literally drop her off in the morning, pick her up, and then drop her off however early you want me to the next morning to get her second injection. And that's what I did. I dropped her off Friday morning at 8 a.m. I picked her up at 5, and then Saturday morning I dropped her off at 7:30 a.m. and I got to pick her up at noon because the vet ended up closing early. She was very sleepy the whole weekend just because the injections are pretty painful. So they also provide you steroids for the dog just to like help with the pain of the shot. So she's on steroids for about 15 days, but it like the dosage keeps getting smaller as each day goes on. Right now she's getting two half pills a day, and then she goes to once a day, and then she goes to every other day. But that was pretty much the whole process of it. And like looking back, in June when she first got diagnosed with it, I was like freaking out, like low key, so scared. I thought she was like gonna die or something, because heartworm can be fatal. It's a deadly disease to these dogs. It takes up to 6 months for the heartworm to show in the blood work. So when I adopted her, she was heartworm negative, but a year later when she went back for her checkup, she was heartworm positive. So it took 6 months for it to show up in her blood work. That's pretty much her update. She's doing really good right now. And now the next 6 to 8 weeks, we just have to keep her calm and like still do what we were doing this whole entire time. So I think by Thanksgiving, she will be good to go, maybe a week or 2 before that. She actually does go back in October to get a blood work done to make sure there's no more microphilia in her blood. And after that, I think if everything's good, she goes back in March to make sure that she is tested negative for heartworm. It's a very long process. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. For those of you that do have a pet and don't take your animal to get a yearly checkup, I highly recommend it just to do it. I know it might cost a little bit, but it's worth it because you don't know what's going on with your dog. That's what like breaks my heart about animals, is they don't have a voice. So it's like you don't know what's ever wrong with them. And especially in Florida, because I know the mosquitoes are really bad here. We want our fur babies to live forever. I wish they could live forever, but unfortunately they can't. That's like the one thing that really sucks about having a pet. So thank you guys again for reaching out and showing your love and support for Brady and I, being the greatest family ever. We really appreciate it. She is on the road to recovery, and before you know it, we'll be vlogging her running around like a mad woman again. I cannot wait to take her back to Karen's house and just have her running around in the backyard, because now that their house is fenced in, actually a week prior to me taking her to the vet for her annual checkup, I took her there to run around and she was having so much fun. And then literally the next week we found out she had heartworm, so I had to like decrease her activity level. So I'm just like so eager to get her back over there to go run again because she loved it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that. Once again, thank you so much for your love and support.
I will smell you later.